I know that prehistoric squeal sounds like it's on the wrong body, but I promise it's on the right body, and we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. This is the kiwi, and it's the national bird of New Zealand. I know what you're thinking. They have the same name as the fruit kiwi, and they look kind of like a kiwi. It's because kiwis, the fruit, were actually named after the bird. The kiwi bird is part of the ratite family, which include ostriches, cassowaries, emus, and more. Pretty much just a bunch of dinosaur looking birds that are nothing to play with. And if you've ever heard a cassowary, yeah. So the kiwi bird kind of just got the short end of the stick on this one, literally. They're like the Pluto of the ostrich family. But when you hear that roar, it's supposed to come from that bird, but that bird probably is not supposed to be that small. Today we have 3 birds that are dinosaurs. They're classified as birds, but that's a dinosaur. Let's start off with the cassowary. They can grow to be as tall as 6'6", which is the same height as like NBA players like Michael Jordan, Klay Thompson, and Moses Moody. These birds can also run 30 miles an hour, and if you haven't noticed their 5-inch talons, they can take you out in one swipe. Did you know ostriches are 9 feet tall? They share over 90% of the same DNA as a T-Rex, but they can run 60 miles an hour, and they can run 30 miles an hour for like 45 minutes. The shoebill stork can grow to almost 5 feet tall and have a wingspan of 8 feet, but they eat crocodiles. They can also fly, which to me is like an unfair advantage. Nothing over 4 feet should be able to fly. These 3 are technically birds, but in my opinion, they're dinosaurs. And as always, man, peace and love, baby. The female zebra finch might just be the real MVP. Not only are these birds monogamous and stay with the same mate for their whole lives, they'll even pick an unattractive one. For these females, looks aren't all that matter. Kind of. Turns out when a female's paired with an unattractive male, she'll have a larger egg than usual in hopes that the extra nutrients will give them more of her genetics than the not so attractive king's genetics. So that's why the female finch just might be the real MVP. But just imagine a dude finding out that he's ugly by looking at the size of his kid. Yeah. And as always, guys, peace and love, baby. We got a quick one today. We're going to learn about the secretary bird in under 30 seconds. Now, we don't know exactly why they're named the secretary bird, but kind of gives off secretary vibes to me. These birds grow to almost 4 feet tall, which puts them very close to dinosaur territory, which makes them taller than any other species of raptor. They like to hunt snakes and baby cheetahs. They have one of the fastest, strongest kicks in the animal kingdom. They can strike in 15 milliseconds. And for some reason, they barely ever fly. That's all we got for today, and as always, peace and love, baby. So what we have here today is a potoo bird. I know the first question you guys want to know is, where do they come from? Other than your dreams, they come from Central and South America. There's about 8 different species. Some look like this, and others look like this. They're nocturnal and pretty much sit in the same spot the whole day. They're very good with the camouflage to avoid predators. Did I mention they can see with their eyes closed? They have small slits on the top of their eyelids which allow them to still see movement while their eyes are closed. These huge mouths which help them eat. Mostly eat smaller insects, but the larger ones eat small birds and bats. They also have this weird, obnoxious call that they do. But that's pretty much it for these ghost birds, and as always, man, peace and love, baby. Every day, water birds just get more and more confusing. As much as this may look like a dramatic cannibalistic practice, it's just 2 parents trying to feed their one baby. The red liquid pouring from the flamingo's mouth is called crop milk. Crop milk is a substance created by both parents, male and female. They secrete this liquid filled with proteins and fats that babies usually eat for around 6 months. This bright red milk also contains the chemicals that give flamingos their pinkish color. So what you've seen in that video earlier was just 2 birds trying to feed their one baby. And as always, guys, peace and love, baby. Yes, it's real. Yes, we have to talk about it. And yes, it's staring at you right now. This is a harpy eagle, one of the largest and most powerful eagles in the world. It's not photoshopped. That's real. These eagles can grow to about 3.5 feet with a wingspan of 6 feet long, and their talons are longer than most bear claws. They're about 5 inches, and they're extremely powerful. With the ability to exert a few hundred pounds of bone-crushing force, they can end their prey immediately. Being that they're so strong, they can hunt animals that are even larger than themselves. Their diet consists of monkeys, sloths, opossums, some iguanas, some other birds, and even small deer. And let's just take a second to, you know, peace and love, baby. I know this looks like a man in a bird suit, but don't worry. It's just a dinosaur. The shoebill stork is huge. They can grow to 5 feet tall and have a wingspan of 8 feet. Their diet, man, they feast on big fish, eels, Nile monitor lizards, and even crocodiles. But for some reason, they're cool with humans. But I wouldn't advise touching them because they poop on themselves to keep themselves cool. And also, it's unfair. Like, nothing 5 feet long should be able to fly. And don't get me started on their mating call. It's crazy. And as always, man, peace and love, baby. We got a cute one today. We got a cute one. Let me introduce you to the blue-footed booby. And they're called blue-footed booby because they got blue feet. They're usually found in Mexico's Gulf of California. But the real question is, why are their feet blue? To attract a mate. And that's it. No other reason. It's strictly just to get their numbers up. Once an individual becomes mature, their feet turn blue. You know how girls wear tiaras and dudes wear like white jeans for their birthdays? It's kind of like that, like to show I'm here now. Mating time, males will do a little dance. They raise those blue feet up and stomp them on the ground. And they already look clumsy, so it's just funny. Now that's all the time I got for the blue-footed booby, and as always, man, peace and love, baby. Yes, it's real, and yes, we gotta talk about it. This baby dragon-looking bird is actually named the nightjar. Some call them the goat suckers. Apparently, people used to believe that these birds suck the milk out of goats. They're rather smaller birds. The largest ones grow to about 12 inches and they can weigh around 6 ounces. There's over 60 different species of nightjar. Like this one, the great-eared nightjar. So if I'm being completely honest, I do know it's a nightjar, but I'm not 100% sure of which species it is off of the first look. I know, he's cute, but here's 4 facts about penguins that scarred me for life. Emperor penguins get divorced more than humans. They have a divorce rate of just about 80%. When a female penguin has an unsuccessful pregnancy, they kidnap other babies. They'll try to find an abandoned child, and if they can't, they'll steal someone else's, which is horrible because it usually ends in a child fatality. Humboldt penguins mate and nest in poop. Now, there's a pretty logical reason for this, but for dramatic effect, I'm gonna leave it right there. Some penguins run in gangs where they abuse other penguins. To assert dominance, they kind of do lay down the law, if you know what I mean. Some penguins actually do believe they can fly. Yeah. I know that was kind of a lot, so to lighten up the mood, here's a baby penguin with an afro. And as always, guys, peace and love, baby. I don't know if we need a friendly reminder, but friendly reminder that ostriches are nothing to play with. They start off like this and end up being 9 feet. And a baby ostrich is not as small as you think. They literally lay 4-pound eggs. Ostriches can run 45 miles an hour for a long period of time, but still run 60 miles an hour for short bursts. So there's no outrunning them. They may only have 2 toes on each foot, but if they swipe you in the right place, it might send you to the wrong place. And with all that being said, their eyelashes still look better than yours. As always, guys, peace and love, baby. You know, I always want to say that vultures are cool, which they are. But then there's all these other facts too. Like how some vultures can get up to 4 feet long and have a wingspan of 9 feet. But then again, they have very weak feet. Vultures have a great sense of smell, which they use to find rotted carcasses. they can smell them over a mile away. Their stomach acid is stronger than majority of other birds, mostly because they have to eat those carcasses. Most vultures don't build nests. They lay their eggs on the floor. But if I guess it works, it works. Now I'm showing you the king vulture just because I think they look cool. Unlike majority of their close relatives, vultures are very social. They feed and flock together. A group of vultures can be called a committee, a venue, or even a...
Have you ever heard the shoebill stork's mating call? Yeah, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. Though this may look like a human wearing a bird suit, it's real. The shoebill stork is definitely one of the few birds that I still consider dinosaurs. Unlike all other birds over 5 feet tall, the shoebill stork can fly, which is just completely unfair to me. Nothing over 4 feet tall should be able to fly. Luckily for us, shoebill storks are fairly friendly to humans. Their diet consists of many different creatures, including fish, eel, monitor lizards, and crocodiles. There's one in Uganda named Sushi that lets you pet him as long as you bow first. And with all that being said, they still go straight on my nothing to play with list. And as always, guys, peace and love, baby.